Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
The main reason I believe people's health is declining globally is because they don't do the things every day that they need to maintain themselves. They don't walk enough, they don't get enough nutrients, they accumulate way too much stress, they don't expose themselves to nature. They work under artificial lights that damage the rods and cones of their eye, their brain, disturb functions of their liver. Everybody wants to be free from disease, and they want to enjoy a long and happy life. At the Personal Performance Institute, we teach you how to do exactly that. It starts right in the beginning. The very first things you'll do, which are simple instructions, will improve your health, and they will make you feel better about yourself. Not believe that you feel better about yourself, but actually feel better about yourself. That's what the Personal Performance Institute can do for you.
While being mentored and studying with the iconic pioneer in natural healer, Dr. Hulda Clark, and experiencing her life-changing practices and protocols, a goal card was written and dated in 1984 stated, "I will write the Eastern medical version of the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference. The universe delivered a sign to actualize this goal. Now in 2023, we are experiencing vision and mission into fruition. Health-a-Pedia has arrived, led by the iconic 20th and 21st century icon, Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD, author of Love, Medicine, and Miracles, along with 42 extraordinary healing world changers that will motivate, educate, inspire, and propel you along your own path to wholeness, wellness, and abundance. Every compelling story will uplift you to your own epiphany of health isn't something you do, it's what you become along life's journey."
Health isn't something you do. It's what you become along life's journey. Here's the book. Now, here's the event. As you've seen, the Personal Performance Institute, Dr. James Marinaka's process, it's called The Process. Simple, easy, sustainable. Be there in Boca. It will change your life. And as I've said before prior, in this broadcast, 24 hours and then another 24 hours. Didn't they have a show about 48 hours? Yes, they did. In 48 hours, another book already in pre-launch is an Amazon bestseller, Connectiplomacy. This is Margi Hope. Marjorie Hope, I know her, is just my new friend, Margie. It's that connectivity that we do. Why? Because Dr. James Marinakis, the founder of the process, introduced Margie and I to each other. And it's been an absolute mutual love fest between two sisters since then. I respect her. She is connected, obviously, to some of the highest people in world diplomacy. She is an expert. And I'm happy to say as we end this broadcast that she too has agreed to write her story in the essence of a woman, the Health-a-Pedia 2.0 version, all women. But let's get down to this woman right now, shall we? My goodness gracious. Consistency. You know that consistency is the key to success. Consistency with her education. Salisbury University and obtained a postgraduate degree in the London School of Economics and Harvard University. She was a competitive gymnast, and she took that into business. And that discipline is what she showed in this new book coming out in 48 hours. We know that. And frankly, she have founded the process and the non-for-profit America Connected as an international nonprofit and nonpartisan organization. Because guess what? Together, when we're together, we all bleed when we cut the same red blood cells, don't we? So we're all connected through that beautiful thing called cultural diplomacy. And she's going to take us on her step-by-step journey of her book. But I want to say, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment. Marjorie, I can tell you right now, you are your own milkshake. Welcome to this broadcast and welcome to launching your book in 48 hours. I'm so happy to be a part of that celebration.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you for having me.
And let's just get into a little bit about Margie, shall we? And I know you're going to be with us in Boca because of our common connection with Dr. Jim Marinakis, that you and David will be there. I'm so happy to say that we have connected as partners and friends. And it was magic. I think it's just Margie magic. That's what I think it is. So take us through some Margie magic of your early years and your background, my dear. Will you please?
Of course. So I pretty much got involved with connecting through diplomacy from noticing that, first of all, people are people. And the one thing we have to remember, and this is really, really important, is that regardless of our differences, people are people and share similar hopes and fears. We need to connect with each other to have a peaceful world. It's not a matter of wanting to, we need to.
Because that need was born inside of our DNA. It doesn't matter which religion, which culture, which country. True, Margie? And
Exactly.
I bet that's what drove you. I mean, my husband, Bob, having a PhD from Oxford, he said, whoa, that's some education. How are you drawn overseas to the Salisbury School and then eventually to Harvard back home? Tell us about your education. How did that calling come upon you?
Actually, I was in Italy. I was in Rome, and I looked up at the balconies of a lot of the apartment buildings, and they all had the Italian flag outside of their balcony. And I realized, wow, and this sounds so simple, but it was like an epiphany. They love their country as much as I love my country. And that's when I started realizing how connected we all are. Now, you might laugh at this, but think about this. We all go to the bathroom. We all eat. We all sleep. And connection is connecting through our differences. We're not all the same. We have different ideologies, different values, different belief systems, and that is okay. But we need to respect each other. And it's through that respect that the connection is there.
Yes, and that I'm going to add just one thing that I said before. I love that eating, sleeping. We all breathe the same air, and when we get hurt, when we cut, we all bleed the same way. We feel
That's
that
right.
same pain, and if we can think about those kind of, Margie was thinking about foundational health and my 6 pillars of health. That's a foundation of diplomacy now, isn't it?
That's exactly right. It all starts with health. To be a healthy person, inside and out.
Yes, I mean, beautiful. And especially because Life's Milkshake Moments is all about your why. And I loved your why about this global journey. How did you just create this purpose about diplomacy? I mean, a 6-year-old doesn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be an expert in diplomacy, you know?
I think it's a matter of the concept of cultural diplomacy has been with us really since the start of the iconic figures like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Winston Churchill. All of these people, all of these leaders recognize that being connected in the world is the most important thing we can do. It's a step-by-step journey of global connection. And it's the insights of those commonalities that bind us together as human beings. And again, people are people. And it's the ideas that I was able to work through in my book and all through my travels is that Diplomacy holds the promise as a powerful means of bringing people together and encouraging respect and embracing our differences and cultivating that positive mindset that encourages growth and development on a global scale.
I loved what you said. Well, it's great. I love what you said because I just love you. Okay. I mean, I just love you. And I really appreciate what you said about if we just, and it starts with respect. It starts with respect that you're a human being, I'm a human being. We have two eyes and we can look at the windows of our soul. It's so there. So I want to go ahead and just share some information before we do anything else because I'm going to put this up on the screen and you can go ahead and we're going to add this banner because it's very long. But take a screenshot, everybody. This is Margie's book. This is Connect Diplomacy. It will be available on ebook. I'd ask my viewership to go ahead, order a copy, order the ebook as well, because then you can go in after about 20 minutes, because Amazon knows if you're a bot. They're going to go ahead and say, oh, well, she just ordered that book. She didn't read it. Take about 20 or 30 minutes and then write an honest review. You will be so impressed, or my husband Bob calls it compressed. Maybe that's the connect diplomacy part. Just you will be so compressed and impressed about the content of it. I was happy to have my name in the book. I said I got your email. That was so cute. I guess I'm on page 297. So I got to just give a shout out to, hey, I was glad that as a health coach that I could add just a commodium. This isn't just some something that you just put together. I was just happy that I was in the end note. So let's talk about being a global traveler. Talk about what I said about those eyes. You've got some great stories, Margie, about those eyes when you were on a different trip. So take us into a couple of your stories and make sure I'm going to leave this up. You don't see much of us, but I want to leave this up so people can take a screenshot. This is where you order the book and the ebook and third of all, write an honest review because Margie has poured her heart and soul and as we say down south, gizzard into every body part. So give us your stories, please.
And one added note, if you don't mind, when you order it, if you go on Amazon or Barnes & Noble to Connect Diplomacy, you have to put Connect Diplomacy Margie Hope because the word Connect Diplomacy doesn't exist until I made it. So it is now a word and will be in the dictionary, Connect Diplomacy. But that's why Amazon had a little tough time going, what word is that? But it's connecting us. And as far as what you just asked me, so I have a great story to tell you. I was in Dubai and we were on a train and the train, we got lost and we were trying to figure out where to go. And a very lovely young girl, maybe in her 20s, came on and she was holding the same pole that I was on the train. And she was very nice. And I asked her, do you mind if I ask you some questions so I can learn about your culture? And she said, sure. And I asked her basic questions. She was very nice. I thanked her so much. Her stop came and she got off. And then I noticed there was a sheik in the back of the train looking at me. I was like, uh-oh, I hope I didn't do anything wrong.
Those eyes. Ooh.
So I said, hi, I hope I didn't do anything wrong or say anything to offend you. And he went, no, not at all. I said, well, I noticed in town not everybody seemed to like me. They seemed a little off. And he said, no, that's the older generation that's not as familiar with the internet. And look, we care about making money. And we know that we're different in what we believe in. And that's okay. So I smiled and I said, well, I agree. Can I get a picture with you? And he said, yes. That was the best highlight, but it got even better. He put a thumbs up in the picture.
Oh.
And I said, that proves my theory that we are all people. And he recognized, even though obviously we're very different, we were still the same. We were people. We were humans. And by the way, Jody, Jody, I sometimes had people ask me, well, your book doesn't really work because it talks about how we all are connected. But what about when war comes? Or what about when things don't work out? And what I would say is that doesn't mean, that's an oversimplification. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means we have to go about it a different way. We have to never, ever give up, because we will be able to connect.
It's that every angle. There's always a different angle. We come about it in a different way. Just remembering that mutual respect. We all sleep. Give us those again. I said bleed. You said sleep, breathe. What were those other things that we all do?
Well, look, we all go to the bathroom.
And we all go to the bathroom. I always talk about poop and pee. What did I forget about the bathroom? Oh yes, it's so true. And I think you led into that really well, Marjorie, because with escalating tensions now, it's gotten pretty dicey since the 7th of October. Let's face it. This has been one heck of a 60 days here, almost 60 days. So, what is the best advice with these escalating tensions? What did diplomacy not work, or does it elevate it all? Us all? Give us some of your insights.
Diplomacy does work 100%. There's always, in anything you do, even if you go on a diet, you might slip up a little bit, or sure, we have our ups and downs, but we never can forget that we are people. And sometimes you have to really sit back and say, what is it that's wrong with this picture? Why is it that these people are upset? It doesn't mean that you can fix it entirely, but what it does mean is you find that connection. And we're seeing that a little bit now. It's a situation that's complicated, and it's always complicated. But at the end of the day, it is simple, because we are all people. And I would say smile, because a smile goes a long way, and it's a step-by-step process.
Step by step. We didn't get here overnight, and we won't get there overnight. It's not a simple one and done, but we can do this if we just. I think about what Dr. Bernie Siegel, the one of the main architects of Health-a-Pedia, and he said, if we could just remember that love is the center of everything, and it's true. If we love and respect each other, that's the key. And when I want to come back to your book, I'm going to put this up because this is a big, hairy 48 hours for you. This is really cool. So, it's as I called it, this last year, doing what we've done with books, it's been a lifelong dream. And I'm sure this was to you. Why did you decide to write this book? How did this come about, Margie?
I feel it's very, very important. There's the mind-body connection is what we start with.
Yeah.
And that's, your book talks all about that, which is amazing in Health-a-Pedia. And then when you take it a step further, we're a big world, but yet we're very connected. We connect with each other every single day through Amazon, through social media, through emails. The internet has changed our world completely.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we see going on in the world is a lot of kind of trying to figure out who we are, almost like we're teenagers trying to say, where are we? What are we doing? And you can see that the younger generations realize this. And there is no them and us. It's just people. And I think that's what got me started on this, is because I was hearing a lot from different groups about, well, they do this and they do that. And it's not that. It's a matter of, we're all in this together. There is one world, one earth. This is our planet that we share together. And right there is the connection.
Boy, isn't that truth? One world, one, I'm going to just say it, one hope, as we heard Alicia Williamson and I singing at the very beginning of our broadcast. There is hope.
One connection.
Yes, that is our one connection. And I want to say, just like Health-a-Pedia, the event that we're doing in February in Boca Raton, just in your backyard. My goodness gracious, Margie, it's so great to say that you too. And so you think that it's just going to be a one and done. This book's going to come out and then we're done. Oh, no, 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 no. Margie's taking what she says. I think it's quite an aggressive, but hey, you've done it. You've been a world traveler, hundred company. Who's got a picture with a sheep that gives you a thumbs up? I mean, please. And so she's going to be taking this, y'all, on a world tour. So if you see this broadcast, if you hear this broadcast, make sure you go to Margie's website right here. I'm going to put it up. And it is americaconnected.org. She's going to be doing a tour starting, I believe, next year. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And then I've got one more last question for you. Do you have, just give us a few general details of this kind of world tour you're going to take with the World Connected book?
Yeah, well, so you can go on connectdiplomacy.com also if you want to read a little bit more of what we're doing as far as for the book. And then also the world tour, that will be probably next spring, late 2024. And hopefully going to as many countries as we can. One of the interesting things that I found is that my book was going to be, I just found this out at the London Book Fair, which is exciting. My book is going before I'm going overseas.
Right.
but
London. Hold on a minute. I just wanted to make sure that I got this right because
exactly right.
Was this and it is Connect World Diplomacy? Is that correct?
It's actually Connect Diplomacy, so it's CONNECT.
Okay, I will go ahead and change that. I want to make sure that we have that up there. So continue on with your wisdom because it's so good. It's so juicy. Okay.
Yeah, so my that will start off the tour in London, but before that, we'll be doing a tour in Washington, D.C., and we'll be there for about a week, going to a lot of
sure.
You know, it's kind of like an opening. I don't like to think of it as teaching or learning. It's opening up people's eyes to the connections that it's okay not to like everybody. We don't have to like everybody, but what we have to do is respect people. And it's that respect that leads us to the connections. Because look, we're all, we all have different choices in our world. But again, we have one world. And if we don't connect, we will not have our world.
No, that is so true. So connectdiplomacy.com. Be looking for that. So the book, our books always go before us, and then you get to meet the celebrity. So in our last few minutes, I would love for you to share one piece of wisdom, one piece of Marjorie Hope wisdom, if you may.
In my book, I did a section called Insights. I had people from all over the world write to me and tell me why they think we should connect. And every single person from all points of the world said in broken English, some not in English, some in English, we need to connect in order to have peace and be able to live in our world. And that to me was so interesting that everyone said the same thing. We need to connect to be together.
Beautiful. Because as one of my products that I consulted on confidence tones, if we can get rid of the fear, then we move into confidence. What after confidence is gratitude, peace. And after peace comes love, joy, passion, and ecstasy. If we get there, we have it all. And Marjorie, you have it all. And I've just got to say before you leave, as a little segue here, I'm so happy that you agree to be in our Women of Essence book. Why is this important? Because not only this is kind of diplomacy, this is connected diplomacy, because to me, for you to be able to be in this is our 2.0, our Women of Essence, the essence of a woman. Which pillar are you? I could see Marjorie looking as a child into that ball. And guess what you did? You saw, I'm going to connect this. You will be in the social pillar. I'm so happy that you said yes. And to think that how this will help us having the secret sauce going New York Times bestseller, being able to then go ahead and bring your deal and your beautifulness of your world to ours is going to be, and it just goes back and forth. So is it time for you to rewrite your story? Is it time for you to get on and say with Women of Essence, what is the essence of a woman? Yeah, it's going to be 40 authors, 37 Wonder Women, but then it's going to be, well, it's going to be 3 empowered men, one of which is our beautiful, beautiful, what can I say, Dr. Jim? Don't we just love him? I mean, I know that rhymes, but it's just true. Don't we just love him? He has such a way of just putting his words into everything. And I think that knowing you can go ahead and go to Health-a-Pedia on my website, drjody.com, Health-a-Pedia, go ahead. I believe we've got 10 spots left. Maybe one of them is yours. I'm so grateful that one of them you said yes to being in our book. After you do yours, you're going to be on tour. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time because, Marjorie, we have just begun. So make sure you check Marjorie Hope. That's what we've got here. Marjorie Hope. Put that in an author. Who in the world? And this is the book, 48 hours. And she goes. She's going to be Amazon, and I believe all 13 countries that Amazon serves. Why not? You've gone ahead and created something with a word connect. Who put the word in the dictionary? Who puts the book out of there? I think it's a woman who loves chocolate. Please end with that story. Tell us why we should eat chocolate, please.
I mentioned that in my book. If everybody ate a piece of chocolate, I think we would all sit back, smile, and the world could get along just great.
Oh, from my heart to yours, this is connection. Shall we do an exercise together, Marjorie? I want you to put your hand on your heart. Feel your pulse. Feel it?
I do.
Now, take your other hand, put it over your heart. You see, your heart becomes stronger. That is the connection I feel with you. And that's the connection that you made with your magic words in the book that will be one of a kind because, Margie, you are. Thank you for being my guest on Life's Milkshake Moments. Ciao for now.
Thank you, Jody.
My goodness gracious, that was an interview, wasn't it? Just know that we are connected. We're connected in generations. We're connected in everything. And I want to give honor to our Live Freely. This is our main sponsor of Boca, and I want to give them the last go with our proactive aging. Don't we all want to live healthier, longer, and better? That's what Live Freely has done in their process. So take a look, take a feel, take a listen. It's another connection.
Aging seniors face a variety of challenges when it comes to their health and well-being. Now, there's a way to take control of aging. Meet Buddy, your personal health assistant. Buddy is a cutting-edge digital health solution that empowers seniors and their caregivers to be proactive in aging. The platform works on smartwatches worn by the senior and paired to their phone. Buddy automatically detects, predicts, and prevents falls. If a fall is detected, your loved one's watch will vibrate and display fall detected, I'm okay, or help me. At the same time, an alert is sent to the caregiver and a 5-minute countdown begins. If the alert is not addressed within the 5 minutes, Buddy will automatically connect to 911. Many times, a loved one is prescribed a walker or cane when they become a fall risk. Through Bluetooth and gamification, Buddy encourages the use of assistive walking devices by providing points that can be converted to gift cards. Buddy also reminds your loved ones to take their medications on time. One of its most innovative features, Buddy uses all the data it collects to create a personalized baseline and measures deviations to alert of potential health issues. Gain greater connectedness, peace of mind, independence, and security through Buddy, your personal health assistant. To learn more, visit www.buddylife.com.
And Buddy is our bestitarian friend in the book. That all came because there was a need. Arthur and Daniel Jew said, we need to do this for our dad that had a stroke and their mother who was failing. There's always a need, and there's special people who fill it. This is what Margie has done with her book. Remember, it's Marjorie Hope, her pen name. It's Connectiplomacy. Helps if I turn it the right way. There we go. There we go. And she has connected us with the need. So remember to find me at drjodee.com. That's JODEE.com. Please go to my YouTube channel and just subscribe, because you're going to find videos of our 6 pillars of health, Health-a-Pedia 365. You'll get notified when I do these 9 broadcasts a month. And remember always that health isn't something you do. Now, it's what you become along life's journey. Remember, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet. But the sweetness has come from somebody that found a need, saw the commonality, and connected and became it. Marjorie, you created a whole new ingredient for this milkshake, and I thank you for sharing your wisdom and just your honesty and your thoughtful way of presenting. Look for her and look for Connectiplomacy and everywhere, but look for the book in 48 hours. Get your ebook, write an honest review, and then you too can say that I've made one connection, because that's what we do. As Les Brown says, it is necessary for us to do what only you can do. Do it as though your life depends on it, because at the end, ladies and gentlemen, it does. So this is Dr. J once again saying, for our first broadcast in December, it's the last month of the year. Can you believe it? Let's make month 12 the best ever, and doing the 1-2 thing like the month and connecting the dots with diplomacy. So just as I would say, this is Dr. J saying, have a healthy Health-a-Pedia day. Ciao for now.